Hi REDTV, my name is Lydia Forson. Oh wow, I did not see that coming. Wow. I've always been in love with, storytelling and the arts. As a kid, I was always reenacting stuff I'd seen on TV. But I think it wasn't until after secondary school, my mom would always tell me, you're going to be an actress, you're going to go into Hollywood. Bless my mom, because most African parents don't even, encourage their children like that. But it wasn't until, after secondary school, I had a cameo role on a TV show, and after the scene, I was like, this is exactly what I want to do with my life. And yeah, that was it. I think it's just a role I morphed into. Growing up, I didn't really recognize my privilege of growing up in a home where, there was really no gender, at least from my mother's side. My brothers cook, clean. I grew up in an environment where there were no limitations on what I could or couldn't do. I love football, played football. And then, you're thrown into this, platform, and you're popular, and now you're realizing that not everybody is as privileged as you are. Yeah, so you get into this industry and you have this big platform, and your lifestyle, who you are, is amplified. And then I start seeing that, what I think is very normal is not normal to the average Ghanaian. So where I'm vocal and very, confident about things I believe in, a lot of women don't feel that they can be, this way. Even in my, dating life, how I expect a man to treat me was not what a lot of people were used to. And so you start speaking against these things, and you realize that a lot more people need your voice. So I don't think anybody wakes up and says, in fact, I always tell people that I would much rather be talking about wine and cheese. You understand? But you're forced to have these conversations because you cannot ignore other people's struggles. So yes, I speak up for women because it's really the right thing to do. When you're driving in the middle of the night and you see a car that has broken down, your instinct is to stop and check. Now in this modern area, we are a bit more cautious, but that's your human instinct, to check and make sure the other person is okay. And really, that's what I do, and that's where I come from. I love challenging roles. I'm not afraid to, strip it all away in front of a camera. I love roles that push me. I did a German film, and I always say it's by far one of the hardest films, I had done, because I really was confident as an actress in the emotions I would show. And you come across this director who says there are way more layers you've not explored, and it pushed me so hard. I was so drained, but I learned so much, about myself and about my craft. So I can't put my finger on it, but I'm constantly I'm the kind of person, when you send a script, and I have this story of, I worked with this Nigerian actress called Ivie Okujaye, and the first time we met was in Liberia, and it was a movie I was going to star in, and I was the lead, and I read the script, and there was another role which was not that big. And through just one day conversation, I'm like, I feel like you would be the lead. And she was like, what? I'm like, yeah, no, I think I want to play the smaller role because I feel like it's more challenging. And she could not believe that I was willing to let her take center stage. And it was not about her, for me, it's about telling a story. So I love any, role that pushes me, challenges me, sometimes make me want to rip out my hair, but that is the kind of actor that I want to be. Oh wow, being African is being intentional. Many years ago, I think probably about 15 years ago, when my first controversial story, I was interviewed in Ghana, and they had asked me where you want to be, and I said, you know what, I want to be just an actress everywhere. And do you want to go to Hollywood? And I said, I want Hollywood to come to me. and it was so controversial. I mean, they ate me alive, you know, for a couple of days. But looking at where we are now and how Netflix is commissioning, you know, shows and movies, how African actors, so I have a movie in German cinemas of all places, not just another African film for an African audience. To be able to do that right now is so amazing, but it also comes with being intentional about my Africanness, being unapologetic about my Africanness, with my hair, with the way I speak. You know, a lot of times when you're cast for certain roles, and if it's an international, you know, production, they will tell you, I want you to sound African. And I said, there are so many ranges to being an African, and I am intentional about sounding Ghanaian, unless the character is a Nigerian and I have to learn a Nigerian accent. When I go on a set and they tell me, okay, you cannot have your hair this way because that is not what we are looking for, and you have to give me a reason why. So I'm very, very intentional about, you know, even the roles that I take. You know, I'm passionate about women in Africa, and if I'm reading a story and it does not project Africa in the way that I want the world to see it, I am going to kick against it. So I'm really intentional, you know, about how I maneuver the industry, you know, as an African. I think that's what that means to me. Can I never leave my house without two things? I am like, that is not a great question, because I will really be rolling out, you know, I will survive anywhere. I don't know, I guess my phone, I guess, and I feel like there's something I cannot, I would say my dog, but I cannot, okay, in my heart I want to say my dog, but I have to leave him behind. I don't know, I can't think of, that's a hard question. Two things. I guess my phone and myself.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I will not leave myself. Okay, I'm just looking around and, you know, saying this under duress. You know, I say this under duress. So Nigerian jollof is okay, right? It has its perks, right? But people don't like tomatoes. But I love Nigerian food. Can I? I love Nigerian food. These are hard questions.
And then fun ones.
Yeah, because I don't know how to pick one thing. Jollof, I guess. Don't do that to me, okay? Do not do that to me, okay? I'm trying to get booked in Nigeria and not be deported in Ghana, all right? It's very hard. You don't understand, it's complicated. So, beans and plantain. Okay, so this is my advice to all my fans, all the people watching here. Do not let anybody who has no power over your life make you feel like you cannot be anything you want to be. The word no is not in my vocabulary. In fact, if you say no to me, you're just one more person I have to prove wrong. So that's my advice.